What does love mean? Anybody of you?
It's the most beautiful thing that can happen to a person.
I mean, talking about the 21st century love.
It's a spiritual thing which I don't think can be attained by mortal human beings like us.
It's something strange. It's something which makes your heart skip.
Love is something that God's created to keep us going. Because this life is so long, 60 years, 70 years. We just can't take it sometimes.
It's magical. And it's very distinct, you know. It's not like a one-night stand or something like that.
Wonderful feelings. You know, everything seems to be beautiful.
I don't know what love is. Love is like, blank for me.
I think love is utter waste.
Personally, I think it's just waste of time.
Just like life, it's not always easy.
Love is rubbish. I don't believe in love.
I think it's just like a candle. At first it's like it glows everywhere, like brings sunlight and all these stuffs. Then gradually it goes down. That's it.
Actually, I fall in love 2 times. And I found bitter. Love is bitter.
This generation, I don't know if they're taking it seriously.
Love is, I don't know, man. I've not explained it before. Okay, love is sex. Sex is love. That's it.
This generation usually doesn't think before falling in love, and maybe they consider infatuation as love and then later get into trouble.
There is a lot of difference between love and infatuation. I can get infatuated by seeing a good guy on the road, but I just can't fall for anybody on the road.
Most people today are more infatuated than love.
As long as two people are agree and in the relationship, there is no harm in having sex without love.
It's something which you have to do.
Sex is necessary.
Yeah, sure. Of course, if the girl is willing to. I don't mind having, a one-night stand or something like that.
Certainly not. No, I don't need to be in love.
More than being in love, I feel it's like you know the person.
You should have understanding.
Sex comes along when there is mutual understanding between two people.
It's based upon your hormones and what exactly you feel.
No, you don't need to be in love, to have sex. Sex is just like, you have to let your animalistic instincts out and all that, something like that. Sometimes it is tasty and sometimes bitter.
Being in love, I think then it's not sex anymore, it's making love. So I think that will definitely be better than just having sex.
Yes, you need to have love before sex.
You need to be in love to have sex.
You have to be in love to have sex, because you can have sex with any damn person, but then when you are in love, you have to, the sex come along with it.
My personal opinion is that you have to be in love to have sex. Otherwise it is not a part of being truthful to yourself.
I started as a social drinker. I started meeting old friends and we started drinking together, partying together.
It just started with, first with a sip of beer, of trying, what it tastes like. It just graduated from like beer to, other drinks.
To enjoy with my friends, that's why I take drinks and all.
It affects many people because of one drinking alcohol.
You lose your senses, you just don't know what you're doing.
You're not in the state of mind to make decisions. So you can do a lot of wrong things when you have alcohol.
Drugs and alcohol, they both do influence the decisions. You could probably do, something that you're not even aware of and you would probably not do if you're not in such a position.
I do things which I regretted later. I was misbehaving badly when I was drunk. I've crossed a lot of boundaries under the influence of alcohol, which I didn't realize the next morning when I used to be sober.
Drinking does not affect my decision making.
Definitely it does affect my decision making. I can't handle my drinks.
Drinking alcohol builds up my confidence. You should do it. You must do it.
And you're completely out of your mind. You don't know what is right, what is wrong.
It's not good to have alcohol and then have sex, because you need to be really aware of what you're doing.
It's like people can do whatever they want. You have no control on your body.
You just get drunk and enjoy yourself. And occasionally too, some people do take this chance as a kind of a one-night stand. I've gone to people's place and got up the next morning not knowing where I was. I've made some decision which I regret later the next morning when I'm sober, getting intimate with some people which I would have never done. So alcohol did give me some kind of kick. It just pushed me where I could never imagine myself. Once you're under the influence of alcohol, you tend to do things which you regret later.
Without anything in the body, you'll be more like thinking logically, not sexually.
A large number of times, sex under the influence of alcohol has resulted in pregnancies because it's not thought out, it's at the wrong time, no contraceptive is used. So there's more chance of pregnancies and STDs.
If you're on alcohol, your chances of having unprotected sex is like higher than when you're sober or something like that. Times, you know, when, okay, you're like, okay, I don't care, I'm just going to go do it. And then you end up, you know, doing it without a condom.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people spoiling their lives. Many of my friends being influenced by drugs and alcohol.
I have completed my law degree and I even practiced in Delhi High Court. Then I started doing bad at work also, which my colleagues and my managers and all have realized it's because of this alcohol influence. Later on, I kind of lost all my enthusiasm for my work. I stopped taking care of myself. Basically, I was just drinking, working and drinking. I hardly ate. Even if I was hungry, I couldn't consume more than 2 spoons of any solid food. I started doing things which I would never done in my normal life, like borrowing money from my brother just for the sake of buying another drink, you know. Later on, when it became a very acute problem, I was like, okay, I tried. I gave up for a few days. Then I went back to drinking again. This time I need professional help. I was very ready to go through the rehab center because I was so fed up of my life. I'd given up all hopes and I was like, let me die, it's okay if I die.
Yeah, I do use protections.
Yeah, you should use protective measures, especially before marriage.
You must use protective measures.
It depends on the mood, on the person and all these stuffs. You haven't boozed so much, you can go without the protection and all this stuff.
It's very necessary for them to have protection before sex because of all that's been going on. HIV, AIDS, I think.
You don't end up having AIDS or something like that.
You can use condoms and have sex.
As long as it's safe.
Do you think protection gives you 100% safety from diseases or from pregnancy?
Maybe.
I think so.
Hopefully. Hope. If you use condom, this is the best. This is the best.
Another very strong misconception is that condoms give you 100% security and from preventing AIDS as well as pregnancy, which is not true at all. Condoms basically have a failure rate of around almost 10 to 15%. And in terms of AIDS, actually what happens is condoms are made to prevent pregnancy. So the latex with which condoms are made have natural holes which prevent sperms from passing through. But the HIV virus is much smaller than the sperm. And therefore it can pass through it, and there's almost 30% documented failure of condoms to prevent HIV transmission.
Would you have sex even if there was like a 80% chance of you contracting a disease?
No way. No chance.
The condom basically prevents the penis from touching the vaginal wall. But if you look at skin-to-skin contact and perineum to perineum, mouth-to-mouth contact, actually all these sexually transmitted diseases can be transferred. So using a condom definitely reduces the transfer of all sexually transmitted disease, but it does not prevent it.
You have sex with somebody who has HIV, you are likely to get the HIV. Maybe 60-70% of the time you will get it.
If my girlfriend fall in a problem like pregnancy, what can you do? You have to go to a doctor. He scolded me very much, and it's very bitter experience.
And then there's also the emotional factor, where for girls and for boys, when a pregnancy has happened, it creates a rift in the relationship. They get stuck on the relationship, wondering what happened, how did it happen. There's a lot of blaming which happens. It affects a perfectly wonderful relationship which could have gone on to marriage and continued well. Another very strong misconception is that one of the boys says that if you have sex with a girl and she goes and passes urine after that, she won't become pregnant.
She won't, because I'll use some prevention of some sort of thing.
If you have sex standing up, she won't become pregnant.
She won't because I'll use some prevention of some sort of.